I think I've met almost all of you before. Or okay, those who were here on 10th September, and then others too, at least individually, came over to my office. Okay. Um, Today is for orientation, and I think majority of you here have either made full or part payment of the fees. And if everything goes as planned, our lectures will be starting on Monday. That will be 3rd October. The weekend class, the weekend class will be starting on the 8th of October. Okay, yes. Purpose of orientation is for us to understand the school running, okay, the school itself, what the school will deliver, and what the school expects from you, and the opportunities after school. Okay. Once again, this is Encephal College of Health Technology. Okay. Yeah. So this is how I will section my conversation, and maybe if there will be any questions and answers at the end, we will deal with it. Okay. Yes. So just as I've briefly said the name of the school, I think most of you who came individually to my office, I showed you documents of our accreditation, okay, our registration with Registrar General. And if you have the form or your admission letter, just check the base. Our Registrar General number is there. Our Ghana Education Service accreditation numbers are stated there. And then our pharmacy council. Those who were here the last time, I said this, but I have to repeat it again. Most of us here, just like myself, I said I studied science in secondary school by accident. That wasn't what I decided to offer. Okay, and all of us, we made choices not out of any well-informed information, but sometimes we're just directed. My father said I should go and offer science in secondary school, and my sister is doing home economics. Me too, I want to do home economics. My friend mentioned home economics and I heard it, so I'm going to offer that. Do you get it? And but then you see, in growing up, you get to a certain stage in life where you realize that this is really the path I wanted to go. At the time that you are now matured to take a decision, you now say to yourself, oh, if I get to become a lab technician, that would have been the profession I would love to go into. But already you have studied business, which is not making any school really consider that let's admit you to study a science laboratory program or a pharmacy technology program and all that. Okay. Yeah, so for us as a school, maybe studying into educational accreditation and all that, and understanding students' cycle, like individual cycle, like this is the way things are with some people. This is what we can do to help as a school. Okay, so understanding these various courses, we chose to go for these ones, okay, with their approval to be able to run. Now, with most of our programs, our entry requirements are not that strict. Okay, but one of the strict things that will come in is that you should be able to read and write good English. Secondly, you should be over 18 years, because I earlier mentioned we train you to work. Okay, when you go to do attachments, that is where the work has started. So if you are 15 years and you are 14, you see, you go to a pharmacy and a 14-year-old child is dispensing medicines to you, or you go to a hospital and a 13-year child is telling you, come and sit down, I'm going to inject you and all that, I'm sure you reject the injection, no matter how critical your condition is, right? Yes, so these are basically what we require, okay, from every student. So like I was saying, you see, a lot of us here, just like myself, like I said, I accidentally studied science in secondary school. My headmaster supported, he selected the school for me because he said I was a brilliant student. And you know, there are certain high class schools. So, but when I went home and we got the admission, my mom said, no, the place is too far for her to allow me to go there. And convinced my dad about it. My dad's friend, who was headmaster to West Secondary School, he took me there and told him about it. And he also collected my results. I had chosen to study business. And he collected my results and said, oh no, with these good results, we'll put you in science class. And those days, like at that particular school, very few students choose the science program. If you go to general or any other, the programs are open that you can offer any of them. Okay. With our health facility assistant program, or let me start from the pharmacy assistant program, okay, which is a 6 months program. The 6 month program, we are going to train you here for 3 months and then place you in a pharmacy to do attachment for 3 months, making 6 months. The 3 months training here, we will give you handouts, which we term as Model 1, Model 2, Model 3, and Model 4. The Model 1 has to do with introduction to pharmaceutical care. See, previously the practice was pharmacy practice. First handout, you will study how to do with introduction to pharmaceutical care. See, previously it was pharmacy practice. Now it has become pharmaceutical care. And when we say pharmaceutical care, like it's a care program. And years back, if you go to the pharmacy, you are just going there for medicines. Okay, but with it being modified to become pharmaceutical care practice now, at least there are certain basic care practices that goes on there. Okay, you can go there and check your blood pressure. Years back, maybe if you have to do with blood pressure, they'll tell you go to hospital and check it. If you have malaria or you have symptoms of malaria, they can probably give you some OTCs to manage it, but have to refer you to a hospital where a test will be done at their lab to confirm it. Pregnancy and the rest were like that. I'm sure the ladies here, some of you probably have never tried the hospital to run a test for pregnancy. You always do it at home. Is that okay? If it requires, if the results requires that you say praise the Lord, you say it. Okay? If it's that one, you become regretful and say, hey, manka. Then that one you say it to yourself, but you have the results to yourself. Okay, it's not exposed to anyone. So this is it. So the practice trains you into all these things. Okay, so our training here will capture all that as well. Okay, so in the introduction we'll tell you about all those things. We'll give you handouts to cover that. The second model will teach you into dispensing, how to read prescriptions, how to dispense them. I'm sure a number of us here, we've seen a prescription before, and maybe sometimes when you hold it, you think probably you've turned it upside down. So you try to turn it again to see, you see the language written on it. This is like some Chinese or Arabic thing they've written that you can't read. Okay, yes. So this is it basically. Now with all those things, there are things that will train you how to read them, how to dispense medicines using these prescriptions, to enable you to be able to work in a hospital, a community pharmacy, or a licensed chemical shop. Then the Model 3, we will talk about diseases of public health importance or common diseases. Okay, so you get to understand how do I identify that this person with these symptoms has malaria, and then how to manage it. Okay, talk to the lady here. Okay. No, she's my own student. Okay, so basically the third model is going to teach us into how to do basic diagnosis, okay, with some common diseases. So if someone is having malaria, what are the symptoms that will indicate that this is malaria? What test can I run to identify that this is malaria? Okay, what are the symptoms that indicate that this is malaria and all that? It will be, we'll do all that. How to run tests on pregnancy, typhoid fever. Now the practice has become very common. Okay, unlike years back, it was some manual devices. You have to put a cuff on a person's arm. You have a mercury in glass sphygmomanometer, very difficult to use. Now we have digital devices, RDT test kits, that all these practices are easy. Okay, and with us as a school, our target is that even when we train you the 3 months, and you have a job to do, you can do it, irrespective of the attachment. Is that okay? The attachment just builds more on your experience. So we actually invest a lot in your training. Okay, but I think the last part, when I talk about the discipline, you will benefit from our investment in your training if you follow the measures we give for the discipline. And similarly, you will lose a lot. Like he's saying, fees. If she missed lectures for 1 week and she has been coming all throughout, will we divide the fees by the number of weeks and say take 1 week fees out? Everybody will still pay the same thing. Do you get it? Yes. So please, we will put in measures that can make you fulfill all lecture sessions, but a lot will depend on you too. So also put in the best effort to ensure that everything we are delivering, you achieve from it. Is that okay? Everything we are delivering, you achieve from it. For us as a school, we have made a certain program. Basically, that is it. The last part of it, that is the model 4. That one will come in 4 handouts that we are going to train you in. The model 4, we will train you into how to manage, how to become a manager. Is that okay? When it comes to pharmacy profession or pharmacy business. Okay, yes, how to take records, where to purchase your drugs from, and all those things, all the paperwork relating to it. A lot of us have said it before. One of my key targets is that, like I said, we'll train you in such a way that even after the 3 months training in class, if you have a job, you can do it. It's the same thing. If you set up your own facility, you can manage it. Okay, the training builds you up for all that. And I always tell students, yes, you will work to gain experience, but everybody here would wish and hope that one day I will also have the business that I'll also be employing people. I'm not sure there's anybody here who wishes I'll always be working for people. Okay, well, there's no job. Yes, but we look for the job just to work for experience. That's the target. Maybe save some money, but you should have a plan fixed in your mind. One day I'll set up my own. Okay, and I'm sure, like the training we give you and the guidance we give you here, sometimes students who are interested in it, I've been able to assist a lot of my students. Okay, but I'm sure there are a lot more who have established their own facilities that maybe it hasn't come to my notice. You need to be disciplined. That is what is required. Everything I'm going to teach you will be based on instructions. Myself and the other lecturers that will be meeting will be based on instructions. And how obedient you are with these instructions, the excellent practitioner you will be in the field. Okay, and how less obedient you are to these instructions, then the poor you will be in the field. Okay, trust me, nothing can give you stress like when you go into the field to work for. And no, we'll give exams here. Students will say, and then you are putting pressure on our exams and all that. Say you are too strict, you don't allow us to copy. I said here, don't worry, this is not exams. Exams is when you are standing behind the counter. Then a woman is carrying the child and telling you that last night my child was crying. If you touch the child, the body is very, very high. The temperature is very, very high. This morning, the child was vomiting. And after everything, the woman, what medicine will you sell to us? But at that point, stretch your neck and copy from somebody's work. Why? Is that okay? After giving you all those things, and you see, when the person is talking to you, your boss who employed you is sitting just behind you and is listening to everything. Other experienced workers are there monitoring what you are going to do. Okay, so if you don't build yourself before, that's where you face it. You go and pick a medicine and your boss will tell put it down. That's not what they serve when it's this condition. Go and take this. Then you see how embarrassed you feel before your colleagues and before customers. Next time when the customer comes and you want to say no, I don't want you to serve me. I want this person to. Because they have seen you don't know the came to do the course. She told me that when we started the program, first weekly exam she failed, second weekly exam she failed. She came to my office and told me that I think this course I will stop. Okay, she told me her last time being in school was in 1974. Okay, her last time being in school is older than my age. Then okay, but she's been doing some hairdressing works and all that, moving up and down. Okay, but she wants to really go on retirement herself. She has a team of people who can do that, but she was advised by one of her children that maybe she can study this and establish a licensed chemical shop. That one is a one place job that you just sit and do. So she decided to. But you see, I told her, oh, don't worry, you can do it. Okay, it's nothing. She completed Form 4 or 6 form those years. But you see, with the dedication to her, today she has her own shop running at around Nyamiche. Okay, if you are using the Nyamiche road from La Paz going to Dakuman, she has a shop there. The last time I went there, I was very impressed. Okay, all I did was with her was just that when students close class, she will stay back and I'll give her assignments on medicine records and other things for her to do. And she will take time to do everything. Some of you, once we say lectures close at 10 or at 12, at exactly 11:55, you start putting books and everything into your. You won't tell me, say time up, or you start packing bag and everything. This and you just stop what you are doing, you want to go. Laws are very strict. That's why the practice deals with certification, licenses, and all that, and so on. Okay, yeah. So if you are engaged, you can. Now maybe you go through the course, you know how to sell medicines, you know how to diagnose malaria, typhoid, and the rest. You can't buy herbal medicines, come and get a shop here and say I'm treating those conditions. Or go to the market and buy paracetamol and amoxicillin, come and get a shop and say I'm dealing with. If I was training you how to sell pure water, after I just explain it, you just get a shop, go and buy your pure water and sell it. Nobody will say, have you gone, where's your license for selling pure water? Nobody will ask you that. Nobody will ask you, where's your license for selling boutique clothing? But when it comes to this profession, there's the need for you to go through those regulations. Is that okay? Services that you provide to the patient, even in some cases you can give them clear instructions, but even if they misapply it, you can still be held responsible. Okay, you can still be held responsible. And all these things, when you are in discipline, that is where these things will happen. But if you are disciplined, trust me, you will enjoy our training with you, and you will enjoy the practice when you go out there. I have always boasted about students I have trained who have excelled. Okay, maybe majority of them have excelled. It doesn't mean everybody I have trained has excelled. Okay, but those who excelled, in as much as I praise myself for it and I thank my maker for it, it was based on their own effort. Sometimes I say I didn't do anything special, or my team of trainers didn't do anything special, but the person who were guiding himself was that determined to achieve what they have achieved. Okay, if you have used the Kaswa Road before, there's a junction there called Aigwe Town. If you branch in there, there's a pharmacy there called Promidine Pharmacy. Okay, owned by a lady called Priscilla. I trained her in one of the schools I've worked with before in 2016. Okay, today she has that pharmacy. She has employed a pharmacist from Kolibu who works for her, that she pays her, and many others. And the last time I went there, she told me, say, oh, any medicine you want, take. I said, oh, these medicines are not like food I'm going to eat. But so take something. She's so happy with what I have guided her to do, to the extent that she was making those requests, and several others sometimes. Okay, yes, a lot depends on you. What you make out of it, it will be beneficial to you. Okay, and if you decide not to make anything good out of it too, that is your choice. You can always say, as all of you seated here, there are 3 commitments you have made. The first one is your money. Okay, that one we are all certain about it. Whether you come, you start, you have paid your money, you remember class, oh, you come and sit and decide not to understand the lecture, oh, you will understand it, oh, your money will not reduce. The fees is the fees. That's the first commitment. Oh. This money you could have used it for some other profitable business. Do you understand that? You can always say the lowest part of what you are paying for is the school fees. Those of you coming from home, in and out here, feeding, transportation, among many others, that would even take a lot more than the amount you are paying here. Is that okay? Some of you go and shop for shoes and other things because of the lectures. Yeah. So there's a lot more expenses, so rather than the amount you are paying here. So if you have dedicated all this, that's one. Number 2 is your time. Is that okay? You are going to stay here for 6 months and you are not even bothered. Let me go and sit down and learn about it to be able to do it tomorrow. No. You just choose not to come, and that's it. Others will do it and then move on. Okay? And to what extent? When you get into the field, it's going to be the same thing. So please, this is it. For us as a school, despite training you, I'm always in touch with my students. And any way that I'm always able to help them, okay, in getting anything, I'm always able to. Maybe some of you may know some students I have trained before, or moving forward, you get to know people I have trained before, okay? And maybe you hear my story better. Okay, so I will end here. Maybe I'm sure there are some loopholes, so you will ask questions and then that will cover the aspects I have missed. Okay, yeah, so once again, thank you for coming. Okay, so if there are questions, I think this will just be the question. Please, technician, or it's not dispensing technician, but generally we call it pharmacy technician. Is that okay? But the legal term used to describe it. Okay, currently the council have changed it to pharmacy technician. Okay, yes, when you are studying introduction to model 1, we will train you all that. Okay, the course started as dispensing assistant. They modified it to become dispensing technician for 2 years, modified to become dispensing technology for 3 years. So currently it's dispensing technology, but they still refer to it. Okay, like we say you are pharmacy assistant, but the actual legal name for it is medicine counter assistant. Like the shops we call drugstore, or we call it Lanson's chemical shop. Now it's called over the counter medicine seller shop. Okay, yeah, so legally that is what will bear, the license will bear or something, or the certificate will bear. So that is it. Yes, yes. Any of them, all the programs. Like if you are a pharmacist, you can work in a community pharmacy. You can work in a hospital dispensary, whether government or private. If you are the dispensing technician, it's the same thing. All of them, is that okay? You can work, like maybe someone say I have a degree in nursing. If you're a degree nurse, it doesn't mean when you go to the hospital you're going to be working like a doctor. You also work like a nurse. If someone has certificate nurse, they'll also work like a nurse. Someone has a diploma nurse, they'll also work like a nurse. Do you get it? And just that we believe that this one will have more knowledge about the practice than this. This will have that you all sort of on the same day. Yes. Will you write license exams? With, let's say, the pharmacy assistant program, for instance, you write an exam with the council, but the document you get is not a license. You can use it to work in a licensed facility. Okay, yes, but if you want to establish your own facility, then you need a license. Okay, during your training session we'll tell you how to apply to the council, then go and write exams with them. They will also come and inspect the place, give you some terms, let you come for an exam with them, and they'll issue you with a license to practice on your own. Is that okay? Yeah, so that is it basically. But all of them will have certificate numbers, okay? Because they are all accredited programs that we are writing. They will have certificate numbers. Where sometimes maybe when you are filling some documents that require for a PIN number, you use that certificate number as your PIN number. Okay, yeah. Yes. It's good for everybody to build your knowledge in IT. And so as a school, we decided that all students that we enroll, you pay 100 cedis. Okay, it's optional, not compulsory. You pay 100 cedis for IT training. The IT training actually is not in there. It's just going to be something introductory. Okay, but we will give you a certificate for it. So the 100 cedis is for the certificate. If you are already someone with an IT certificate or you are not interested with it, that 100 cedis bill doesn't come to you. Okay, just that if you are doing only our IT program, that one goes a bit into details. The form is 100 cedis, the fees is 500 cedis, the certificate is 100 cedis. So for instance, if you complete and come back that you are coming to do the IT program, this will be your bill. Is that okay? But if you choose to join us now, it's just like we are giving you free IT training and you just pay 100 cedis for this. Okay, yes. So for those of you who be interested, hopefully when classes start, we'll take a list of your names, give you schedules for it, make you make the payment, and we'll go. Yes. So with the pharmacy assistantship, for instance, at the model 4, I'll talk about dress coding and all that, kind of hairstyles you can keep, kind of nails you can keep, and all that. Okay, especially when you are going to the attachment as well, we give you rules for attachment, so we'll talk about all those things. Is that okay? Yes. Maybe with the school we won't be too strict with certain things. There are some we will be strict on, there are others we won't be there's somebody okay, so there are some for us as a school we won't be strict on, but there are some things we'll be strict on them. Okay,